Good afternoon and welcome to TCC's 2020 Retiree Recognition event. I'm Beth Lundy, Associate Vice President for Human Resources. Today, we're coming together virtually to recognize those of you who have done so much for the college and who have contributed so much of your time and talents to making TCC the vibrant and influential institution it is today and will continue to be. And now, President Marcia Constan will recognize our emeritus appointments. Each will receive a framed resolution approved by the College Board.
Thank you, Beth, and welcome to all of you who are joining us this afternoon. This is my first TCC retirement recognition event and the first virtual retirement recognition the college has held in its more than 50 years of operation. I am honored to be here with you for this momentous occasion. Emeritus appointments acknowledge significant achievements and contributions to the college by retired faculty and staff with 10 years or more of service. These employees have served TCC in numerous ways, from teaching to business operations to information systems, and in many other professional capacities. On behalf of the College Board, I am proud to acknowledge your service and dedication to the college's mission. Our first emeritus this afternoon is Ms. Patsy Alexander, Records Specialist at the Norfolk campus. Patsy was the first full-time employee on the Norfolk campus and a critical player in updating the college's student information system. Patsy, congratulations. Our next emeritus is Ms. Reyne Buchholz, Associate Vice President for Finance Designated Funds at District Administration. Reyne has overseen virtually every aspect of financial operations at the college, from payroll to accounts receivables, from grants to foundation, and everything in between. Reyne, congratulations. Next, we have Ms. Susan Dozier, Professor of Information Systems Technology at Virginia Beach. Professor Dozier developed and taught 8 different courses in information technology, and she also co-authored the textbook, Microsoft Office Go, which was published in 2007 by Pearson. Susan, congratulations. Our next emeritus is Mr. Albert Koon, Associate Professor of Electricity and Electronics at Virginia Beach. Professor Koon, also a TCC graduate himself, worked tirelessly to improve the electronics program. Al, we congratulate you on your service. And next, we have Ms. Robyn Moore, Director of Material Management and Procurement Services at District Administration. Robyn's negotiating skills greatly assisted the college as it expanded its physical plant. Her leadership and attention to financial detail helped TCC win several purchasing awards granted by the Department of General Services. Robyn, congratulations. Our next emeritus is Ms. Lori Wheeler, Senior Programmer Analyst at District Administration. Lori was a key player in the reversion of the college's financial aid system and the creation of the college ID system. Lori, we extend a congratulations to you. Next, we have a posthumous honor for Miss Nina Wood, professor of English at Portsmouth, who died on September 3rd of last year. Professor Wood was a devoted and diligent instructor of English who impressed upon her students the critical importance of precise and graceful written expression. Earlier this year, she was honored with the Martin Luther King Jr. Distinguished Award. And our last emeritus this afternoon is Dr. David Wright, professor of physics at Virginia Beach. Many of you have seen or heard about Dr. Wright's physics demonstrations in his classes at TCC. In fact, Dr. Wright, after some social media promotions by two of his students, made headlines in the People magazine and was interviewed on the Kelly Clarkson show. But it's Dr. Wright's dedication to his discipline that has so greatly benefited his students. Dr. Wright, we extend a warm congratulations to you. And now I will ask Beth to introduce our retirees.
Thank you, Dr. Constant. President's Cabinet members during the 2019-2020 academic year will introduce the retiree or retirees under their supervision. First is Mr. Kurt Asen, Vice President for Information Systems and Institutional Effectiveness.
Thank you, Beth, and congratulations to all our retirees who are being recognized today. Jeanette East, Information Technology Specialist 1, is our first retiree. Jeanette started working at the Chesapeake campus in 1973, earned an associate degree in education in 1976, and over the years worked on all of TCC's campuses. She started as a teaching assistant at Chesapeake, but soon put her interest in computers to work as an installer, repair technician, and network administrator at the beach. She also worked on network systems at Portsmouth and Norfolk, and more recently in telecom services, providing support to the entire college. Jeanette, thank you for being in the right places at the right time and for all you have done for the college. And now here is Matt Baumgarten, Executive Director of the TCC Real Estate Foundation and Facilities Manager.
Thank you, Kurt. It's my honor and my pleasure today to say thank you to Wayne Haymaker Jr., Trades Technician 4. Wayne was the former facilities manager at the Chesapeake campus since 1994. Prior to that, he was over at our original campus, the Portsmouth campus in Suffolk. Wayne's colleagues still talk fondly about the time that the power went out at the Chesapeake campus on Christmas Eve. And guess who came in to fix it? It was Wayne. So Wayne, congratulations and thanks for your service. It's my honor to turn it over to the former interim provost of the Norfolk campus, Emmanuel Chestnut.
Thanks, Matt. The first retiree that I'd like to recognize today is Mr. James Benson, Associate Professor of Speech at the Portsmouth campus. Professor Benson's students have noted that his no-nonsense approach to public speaking has given them confidence, not only as public speakers, but as writers as well. We wish him the best on his retirement and his possible move out west to further his own studies. Thank you, Professor Benson. Our next retiree is Mr. Craig Nielsen, Professor of Arts at the Visual Arts Center. Besides teaching a variety of art courses, Craig was an early cheerleader for computer-based graphic design. He also helped supervised and designed the publication of student publications, 340 High Street, and the Channel Marker. Over the years, Craig has designed hundreds of invitations, books, booklets, promotional and informational materials, as well as the official college seal, quite an accomplishment. The 20-foot photo commemorating the 1960s sit-in at the Woolworth on Granby Street, which spans the front of the Walker Building, is also his design. Craig, thank you so much for all you have done for TCC's art students and for TCC too. The last retiree I would like to recognize this afternoon is Ms. Cameron Russell, Assistant Professor of Biology at the Norfolk campus. A TCC graduate herself, Cameron started as an adjunct professor in the year 1990 and has been full-time since 2003. Cameron is a favorite with her colleagues and her students, but also a favorite of mine during my stay at TCC. One of whom she says is an amazing teacher who is also very funny and knows how to keep the material interesting and lively. Cameron, thank you so much for spicing up the study of biology. And now here's Dr. James Edwards, formerly interim provost of the Chesapeake campus of Tidewater Community College and pathway provost for engineering and science and mathematics and manufacturing transportation.
Thank you, Emmanuel. The first retiree I'd like to recognize today is Mr. Kenneth Brown, Jr., Associate Professor of Physics at Virginia Beach. Mr. Brown, along with Dr. David Wright, have been instrumental in developing and maintaining the TCC Planetarium and its programs. He has also assisted with TCC Observatory, preparing telescopes and performing lens alignments. His efforts were recognized by colleagues in 2015 with a certificate of congratulations for professional excellence for exceeding performance expectations in institutional responsibilities. Ken, thank you for all you've done for our physics and astronomy programs. Our next retiree is Miss Estelle Bussey, Academic Advisor at the Chesapeake campus. As a colleague noted, and I quote, Ms. Bussey embodies the mission of TCC as it relates to guiding students in the pursuit of achievement of their educational goals while encouraging them to contribute as citizens and workers to the vitality of an increasingly global community. Ms. Bussey has formed strong bonds with students as well as the Greater Hampton Roads community. And in 2016, she was awarded the Support Staff of Year Award. Estelle, thank you so much for all you've done for the college, our students, and our community. Next, we have Ms. Catherine Crawford, Clerk Typist 3 at both the Virginia Beach and Chesapeake campuses. Catherine's specialty was grade entry, which until 2003 was done largely by hand. Catherine was integral in the shift to the PeopleSoft program, and she was recognized as a PeopleSoft core person. Catherine, thank you for being in the right place at the right time. Our next retiree is Mr. Jeffrey DeCastillia, Associate Professor of Electromechanical Controls Technology at Chesapeake. Jeff is also a graduate of TCC and has directly given back to the college by designing the Associate of Applied Science in Electrical Technology. Jeff's contributions and exemplary instruction were recognized by his colleagues with the Professional Excellence Award for 4 consecutive years. Jeff, thank you for all you've done for our students and our college. Next, we have Mr. Joseph Joyner Jr., Associate Professor of Mathematics at Norfolk. Besides teaching the full range of mathematics from developmental to applied calculus, Joe was also tapped as interim dean of the Norfolk campus's Language, Math, and Science Division in 2008 and 2012. In 2011, he was one of 2 TCC representatives on the Virginia Community College System Task Force for Developmental Education. Joe, thank you for going the extra mile for TCC and our students. Our next retiree is Miss Dianne Parker, admission specialist at the Chesapeake campus. Dianne started with TCC in the records department at the Beach campus in 1983, but eventually landed in enrollment services and admissions at Chesapeake in 2007. Besides her regular duties, she was actively involved in the shift to the PeopleSoft program, and she served on various college committees, the Chesapeake Classified Assembly and the TCC Classified Association. Thank you so much, Dianne, for all of your hard work. Next, we have Dr. Michael Plumb, Professor of Industrial Engineering Technology at the Beach. Dr. Plumb was working in port operations after a 20-year career in the Navy when he first began teaching part-time for TCC at the former Ford plant in Chesapeake. An expert in all aspects of maritime design and operation, Dr. Plumb was recognized for his efforts with the TCC Exemplary Leadership Service Award, not once, but twice. Michael, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with our students. My last retiree today is no other than Dr. David Wright, Professor of Physics at Virginia Beach. Dr. Wright was recognized earlier in this program as an emeritus, but I would like to add that although he is retiring, his viral videos will be on YouTube forever. So be sure to check them out. And now, here's Dr. Michael Summers, former Virginia Beach Provost and Pathway Provost for Health Professions, Public and Professional Services, and Computer Science and IT. Dr. Summers.
Thank you, James. The first retiree I'd like to recognize today, waiting on the slide to change, is Miss Robyn Browder, Associate Professor of English at Virginia Beach. Robyn is a graduate of Frederick College, which became the site of TCC's founding campus. As the most senior TCC professor, she carried the mace for commencement and Phi Theta Kappa events for more than 15 years. Robyn has been instrumental in the teaching of developmental and composition classes at TCC, and she was formally recognized for exemplary instruction twice in recent years. Robyn, thank you for all you've done for TCC since its inception. Next, we have Miss Susan Dozier, Professor of Information Systems Technology at Virginia Beach. Susan was recognized earlier in the program as an emeritus, and I want to take this moment to thank her for all she has done for TCC and the teaching of information systems technology. Thank you so much, Susan. Our next retiree is Miss Carrie Gordon, instructor of biology at Virginia Beach. Carrie's extensive background in biology and agronomy was a boon for her students, and they took many field trips and other excursions with her to study plants and animals in native environments. Carrie also helped care for lab animals, and she set up the campus greenhouse and oversaw it for a number of years. Carrie, thank you for going the extra mile, not only for your students, but also for the biology program at TCC. Next, we have Mr. Mark Greer, Assistant Professor of Physics at Virginia Beach. Mark began his career with TCC as an adjunct instructor teaching technical physics to apprentices at the Norfolk Naval Shipyard. After he came to the Beach campus in 1990 After a decade at the original Frederick campus, he chaired the faculty committee that selected TCC's fourth president, Dr. Deborah DeCroce. In 2007, after the passing of his mother, Mark established the Genevieve Greer Memorial Scholarship for returning students and endowed a scholarship to support female students. Mark, thanks so much for all that you've done over the years for TCC students. And thank you for teaching me the game of golf. Mark and I have known to play golf from time to time. Our next retiree is Dr. Charles Hood, professor of physics at Virginia Beach. Prior to coming to TCC, Dr. Hood taught physics and science at a number of high schools and colleges in Massachusetts. He also authored a high school textbook, Basic Physics, during that time. And here at TCC, he and Ken Brown, another retiree today, co-authored the college textbook, Physics Inside Out. Dr. Hood plans to continue his writing and has a science fiction novel, The Ceridons, in the works. Thank you, Dr. Hood, and we look forward to seeing you in print again. Next, we have Miss Kathleen Masiangelo, Associate Professor of Emergency Medical Services at Virginia Beach. Kathy brought a wide background to the Emergency Medical Services program at TCC. A registered nurse for almost 50 years, Kathy worked as a charge nurse, a hospital administrator, and an ambulatory clinic nurse before taking on the challenge of clinical coordinator for TCC. Kathy was responsible for placement and evaluation of student clinical internships, and she created and developed the Student Clinical Handbook, an essential touchstone for the Emergency Medical Services program. Kathy, I can't thank you enough for your energy and dedication. Our next retiree is Mr. Arthur Mendonsa, Professor of Information Systems Technology at Chesapeake, a graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy and an officer on nuclear submarines. Don brought a wealth of experience to his teaching of information technology. He also sponsored a student chapter of the Association for Computing Machinery. He helped oversee programming competitions at TCC, and he took teams of TCC students to programming competitions across Virginia. Don, thank you so much for your dedication to our students. My last retiree today is Miss Carolyn Williams, counselor at Virginia Beach. Carolyn has also worked at the Chesapeake and Norfolk campuses and has been at the beach since 2007. She has provided counseling for education accessibility, career exploration, and the Upward Bound program. Her many hats have included career counselor, transfer counselor, counselor advisor for the UVA Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies program, and regional counselor for Virginia Community College Career Switcher program. Wow, that's a lot of hats. Thank you so much, Carolyn. And now, here is Dr. Michelle Woodhouse, former provost of the Portsmouth campus, now interim VP for Academic Affairs and Chief Academic Officer.
Thank you, Mike. The first retiree I would like to recognize today is Mr. Randy Betts, Program Director for TCC's Skilled Trades Academy. Randy came to TCC from Paul D. Camp Community College, where he was Vice President for Workforce Development. He brought a wealth of experience to TCC, including recognition in 2010 with Expanding Workforce Opportunities Award. Randy, we'd like to thank you for all you've done to make the Skilled Trades Academy a huge success. At this time, I'd like to recognize Ms. Martha Cross, Library Specialist 2 at the Visual Arts Center in Old Town Portsmouth. At the Visual Arts Center, Martha was responsible for all library services as well as planning and overseeing the renovation of the library itself in 2013. Martha's love for books and art was rewarded at the 39th Annual Student Art Show at the center when she won an award of excellence for her Book of Life, a ceramics piece in the shape of a book. Martha, we'd like to thank you so much for your dedication to our teachers and our students. Our next retiree is Miss Mary Parzynski, Education Support Specialist 3 at TCC Center for Military and Veterans Education. After a decorated 20-year career in the U.S. Coast Guard, Mary completed an associate's degree in business management while working as a Veterans Affairs work-study student. She became supervisor of the Veterans Affairs for Financial Services in 2000 and moved to the CMVE in 2012. About 1/3 of TCC students are all military related, and Mary has helped to ensure they can navigate all aspects of TCC's experience. Mary, I want to thank you for all you've done for our military related students as well. I might add that Mary was one of my former graduate students as well at Norfolk State University. My final retiree this afternoon is Miss Kathy Richardson, Administrative Assistant to the Dean of Business, Public Services, and Technologies at the Portsmouth campus. Kathy has spent her entire working career at Tidewater Community College. She began at the original Portsmouth campus when she was only 17 years old and has worked in a number of offices, including business office, accounting, continuing ed, and many more. She has served TCC as an officer for the Classified Assembly at Portsmouth, as well as working at many of the Classified Professional Development Day events. Kathy has been a wonderful cheerleader at Portsmouth, and we will all miss her. I like to say personally, I enjoyed working with Kathy. She was a wonderful person, a wealth of knowledge, and I hope you're enjoying your next phase of life. And now I'd like to turn the program over to Dr. Constant, who will now recognize a retiree from the President's Cabinet.
Thank you very much, Dr. Woodhouse. As we know, one of the most critical aspects of a large organization like TCC is its financial stability. And without a doubt, Ms. Phyllis Malloy, TCC's Vice President for Finance, worked diligently to ensure that bills were paid on time, contracts honored, and employees compensated. As co-chair of the VCCS Student Information System implementation in the early 2000s, Phyllis was instrumental in the startup of a system that is in use today. As the decade progressed, Phyllis also negotiated numerous contracts and agreements, among them the TCC Barnes & Noble's bookstore location in MacArthur Center, the TCC Child Care Facilities, Hampton Roads Regional Transit Passes for students, and many others. As a reaffirmation reviewer for the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools for almost 30 years, Phyllis traveled to 49 states, assisting in the financial reviews of other colleges. Phyllis informed me before I arrived at TCC that she would be retiring, but to my relief, she graciously agreed to stay on through the end of the fiscal year, and I am very grateful to her for that. Phyllis, you have given the college your best, and we all appreciate everything you have done. We congratulate you on your retirement. And now I want to take this opportunity to thank you once more for all of our retirees and the emeritus appointments for your service to Tidewater Community College. And now here's Beth, who will give closing remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Constant. Retirees, you will be receiving in the mail a printed program for today's event, along with your retirement biography in a TCC holder. Your retirement gift is an engraved TCC frame. We can't mail that frame, however. If you'd like one, we'll make arrangements for you to pick it up or or will deliver it to you. Our events coordinator, Jackie Evans, will be in touch. And to all of you, thank you again for all of your service to the college. And we hope you enjoy your retirement. Thanks again for joining us this afternoon, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.